I'd love to get into a little bit of power rankings. Thinking about Liga
People are
MX,
going to get mad at us if we do
they might, but I think it's important to have this debate. It is a small sample size. We're only going into week 5 of the Liga MX
with
season.
a huge break in between with Leagues Cup.
Again, take this with a grain of salt. It's what we've seen. And also, not many of these teams have, like the big teams have not really played each other quite yet. We haven't gotten into the deep fixtures where you're playing these classic rivalry games like Chivas versus Atlas, America Chivas, Cruz Azul Pumas, America, whatever it is. And so, take this with a grain of salt, but also let us know what you all think. Who are your power rankings right now?
Come at us if you think we're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're happy to tell you you're wrong as well.
We want to get other people other than Arsenal fans in our DMs, Let's kind of change it up. Arsenal fans, they're kind of starting to bore me.
Delusional. They're delusional.
Shout out my brother who attacked both of us the other day.
He came at both of us. We're going to do our top 5 teams of Liga MX up to this point going into week 5. I'll start off. You want to go 1-1 or should we just go 5-5?
Your call.
Let's do 1-1.
All right.
And we can do a little debate.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll go first. My number 1 right now is America.
Are you going to start 1 or are you going to go 5?
Oh, shoot, you're right.
You're exposed. But go ahead. We'll start at 5.
I said Baberica. Iberica. All right, we'll go 1 down. Fine then. I'm switching it. We're going 5-1. Starting off number 5, I'm going with Atlas right now. Atlas has had wins against Tigres, Santos, León, and a loss against Monterrey. Have had against Santos and León more closer games.
Yeah.
And the Tigres game was not convincing for me in terms of the style of play. And that being said, they are getting wins, and I think they deserve to be in the top 5. I don't think, for me, they're not higher, but in terms of their standings in Liga MX right now and the fact that they're winning, they deserve to be in the top 5.
Yeah, for me, my 5th team is Toluca.
Okay.
Toluca has wins against Necaxa, Chivas, and a tie against Atlante. They lost against Pumas. Pumas kind of just there, I think Toluca also not a hangover, championship hangover, but just kind of a success hangover, if you will. So I have them at 5, but obviously they have the talent, they have the coach to move up in the power rankings, quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. At my 4, I actually have Monterrey. Monterrey with wins against Juarez, Atlas, Santos, and then a loss against Necaxa. I think the Necaxa loss is really a big dent, and I would have had them higher had they pulled a tie off in that fixture. But again, not the best teams. They did beat Atlas, which is why I have them above them. And the thing is, Monterrey just doesn't convince me. I know that they have Matias Almeida. They brought in some other players. They've got Orbelin. And so they do play a good brand of soccer. They just smacked up on Juarez like 6-1. But again, I don't see the high quality teams to make me say I think that you deserve to be higher for right now.
Yeah, for me, 4th is the first and last champion of Jalisco, Atlas. They have 9 points, so obviously, they're getting wins. I'll give it to you. Like against Tigres, they probably should have lost. Tigres had a lot of chances, but there's a lot of different circumstances that kind of made that game kind of be funky.
Yeah.
Against Santos kind of just they're gonna be last place this year. They have no quality, so but you got to beat who's in front of you. They lost to Monterrey, 2 red cards that game. You can't really see how they truly, go against a big team. So, they lost, and then they beat who was the other team they beat? They beat León. León, first game of the season, a bunch of the players that they signed did well.
Yeah.
So I got them at 4. Good enough to be in top 5, but obviously not competing for the championship just yet.
Mm-hmm. For 3, I have actually Toluca compared to year 5. I think just because of the quality that they have on that team, and they proved time and time again that they can win, is why I think until they show me that they can't, and I see more losses, then I'll keep them a little bit higher just because of that. But with tie against Atlante, wins against Chivas and Necaxa, and a loss against Pumas, I think that they played some stronger teams than some of these other ones, which is why I have them at 3.
Yeah, for me, my 3rd team is Cholos de Tijuana. We already talked about it, 10 points. They're, top of the league with America. They look good. Good.
Yeah.
They are playing Loco Obrero's philosophy. Like you said, They're defensive but aggressive on the counter. So I got him at 3. Obviously, Gilberto Mora, probably the best player in the league. Anytime you have the best player in the league, your team's probably doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. I have at 2 Tijuana. We're kind of flip flopping places there,
Yeah.
but like just like Oscar said, they're managing to get wins. They're managing to get positive results, and until they don't, then I'm going to keep them high up. And like you said, relatively solid style of soccer. As long as they're continuing to stay to their philosophy, I think they're going to continue to win or get some decent results. And I can absolutely see them making some noise later on in the Liga.
Yeah. Now, my second team is America. America, Jardinet left kind of before the season started. So, a new coach right before the season starts usually is a recipe for disaster. We've talked about their financial struggles, and they've invested, or not invested, but they're giving the opportunity to young Mexican players. This last game, they played 8 Mexican players in the starting lineup, and a total of 12 Mexican players played for America. You usually don't hear about that with
No, you
America.
don't.
That's more, Chivas, Atlas, some of the smaller clubs that need to promote from within. And the fact that they're top of the league and they're playing some of the young Mexican kids, and they haven't even used their big boys,
Yeah.
should kind of scare people.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see as they continue, if they continue to gel or if it goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
But that's why I have America at first as well. I mean, top of the league, they're getting the results. I will be interested to see once they play some better teams. As of right now, they've gotten wins against San Luis, Santos, and Querétaro. Querétaro actually doing pretty decent as of now to start.
Yeah.
And then a tie against Los Potros de Atlante. But
They're beating up on the bottom of the league.
exactly.
But it's not their fault. That's who they're playing.
Exactly. If you're going to be the top, you need to beat those teams. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give them my number 1 power rankings. Unfortunately, I didn't want to give it to them, but I'm going to go with it.
For me, the best team in the league so far is Monterrey. Almeida, obviously, Monterrey has always had one of the top 3 franchise or players, salaries, just team in general, top of the league. And with Almeida, they're actually playing a very aggressive, visually appealing style of soccer. They got Rossi from MLS. They got Orbelin. They have a plethora of players that have already been there. And I think he's going there and saying, if you're gonna play for me, this is our style, or kick rocks.
Yeah.
And they're putting a thrashing on everyone that they're playing. Obviously, the one game that they should have won was against Necaxa. I believe they had a red card that game too. So, circumstances, but for me, Monterrey is the cream of the crop right now. And, we'll go from there.